too bad. Good morning, Nancy. Hey, Ann. How? Yeah, my hair is fine. Thank you. Sorry, guys. I've been up since 6 a.m. and I'm trying to get my shiz together. Hey, Donna Kid. Good morning. Give me one moment. Sorry. One moment. Okay, there we go. Share. Just sharing out to groups really quick. Hey, Leslie Ann. Hi. Good morning, Heidi Phillips. Good morning, Kelsey. Good morning, Sean. Just sharing this out. If you guys could do the same, I would greatly appreciate it. Be a huge help. Share it to your own pages. Share it to your groups where you know it would be appreciated and valued. Where it would be of service. Where it would not be breaking any group rules. Anywhere where you think it would work. I know one of you shares it to my own group, which I think is kind of funny. I think it's Lori. Somebody does. They share it to the group that is named after me. But I've already shared it there, so I never repost the share. But I appreciate the attempt. I think it's very sweet. And any assistance with that, I greatly admire and appreciate. So let me just get this out and then we can get started. I hope you guys are well. I have a little Hanuman Chalisa playing in the background. I do not own the rights to this music. It's an Indian spiritual song that calms Saturn. So I am listening to it because I usually listen to a male version of it and then a female version of it 3 times a day in the morning. 3 times of each version. To honor both the masculine and the feminine, to honor Father Sky, to honor Mother Earth, and to bring them in alignment with Saturn. It's just my own little thing that I do. One of my many little rituals that I do. Good morning, Carla. Good morning, Pat. Thank you for sharing. Good morning, Karen. How are you? Okay. I'm excited about this week, guys. I really liked yesterday's, as I was thinking about yesterday's forecast, I was super excited about this week that's ahead of us. I kind of have a feeling, I love that card, the Void. Let me turn this down just slightly. That card, the Void from yesterday, really got me thinking like, ooh, we're in for some good stuff, like some unknown stuff, some big changes possibly. So I was excited about that. I also really love the grounding stone, which is the grounding stone for yesterday, but also the underpinning energy of the week, which is vision. And I was thinking about how expansive that could be for us if we really open up our minds and dare to dream. Like for me, I'm just going to use me as an example. This week of mediumship has been this week's last rewind. This last week of mediumship in Virginia Beach has been extremely inspiring. And because of that, I want to keep that vision alive, right? Or that idea, that dream alive. I'm going to do that through offering, like I said in yesterday's forecast, offering free mediumship reads during the charm divination nights. It'll be sort of like a prize or something, and they will be free. They'll be done separate from the charm divination nights, and there'll be private readings for people that are interested and want to be put into that drawing, right? But I also found myself taking that vision just a step further, and there's a school in London, or not London, Stansted, England, called Arthur Findlay College, and it comes highly recommended by anybody that has studied mediumship. And so I looked into the idea of, what classes are going on and when, what could I actually do, how could I go about doing it. I sent them an email last night. I got a response this morning. Was not quite the response I wanted. And it was a sort of a, we can put you on the wait list sort of response. But I said, yes, indeed, waitlist me, because I feel like that's the perfect opportunity for Spirit to tell me whether or not, come February, me running off to London or to Stansted, England, would be a good idea. I kind of don't want to wait any longer. I want to move forward. I want to keep my vision, hold my vision, and move into 2020 empowered and ready to roll, as they say. Ready to rock and roll. So that's just my example of how I'm going to hold my vision this week and keep that going. If you've noticed a couple other house rule things, or not house rules, but just new things that have gone up this morning since I've been up so early, I did 2 unboxings this morning for decks that I've had for a little while. And I have some decks that I want to. One was the Whispering Woods deck that came from Shelby and Jamie. Thank you very much, you guys. Good morning, Ducky. And then the other deck was the Inspiration for Survivors deck. And I am inspired to post that one or get that one up because this sort of next... One moment, sorry, I don't want to mess this up. Okay, let me change this music really quick before she kicks in again. I'm going to put this on. So, what was I saying? Oh, the next few decks that you'll see being unboxed, I'm not building sets for. I end up using that as an excuse to sort of not get things done because I have to go shopping at Walmart to buy the fabric and buy the supplies, the little crafty supplies to create the little sets. So what I'm doing is I'm just getting the unboxings done and up because I want to use these decks in a pick-a-card that will hopefully be centered around healing ourselves and looking at sort of things like self-care and how we best do that or where we need to focus to sort of align ourselves as we go into 2020. So I'm trying to move forward with getting those things done too. That's part of my vision, so to speak, this week. Staying stuck on that and focusing on that and the positivity of that, how that's going to feel to get that done, how that's going to help others when I'm able to actually utilize these decks in a new pick-a-card, how happy you guys will be to have a new pick-a-card. Those are the things I'm trying to keep in my vision and bring that energy about. So that's what I'm about. And I think that if Arthur Findlay College contacts me last minute and says, oh, you know what, we have a cancellation, would you like to come in February? I might find myself studying beginning mediumship in England. We'll see. I'm going to see if I can swing it. I don't know. I would love to, though. I really want to go there. I've been wanting to go there for years. I've just been too scared. So I'm like, screw it. I'm going to go. It's like modern day Hogwarts. I want to get sorted into whatever house and figure it all out. All right, I'm close to done with sharing this out. Again, if you guys have not shared it out, please do so. I would greatly appreciate it. And follow me at Instagram at Engelgeist333. I'm new to Instagram. I would greatly appreciate a follow. Tell your friends to follow me. Any likes, shares, comments, subscribes are also greatly appreciated. All right, so we're all shared out. How are you guys doing? Let me see how you guys are doing. Oh, we have royalty here. Princess Laura is here. She says, LOL, she might be old and dead by the time she finds real love. Well, Princess Laura, why don't you work on finding real love within yourself first? That you have some control over. That's what I'm working on, to be honest. When I get caught up in like worrying about who's gonna love me, I know we have a problem, because there's always work for me on how to go about loving myself just a little bit better, appreciating myself just a little bit more, um, allowing myself just a little bit more compassion and endearment. And as I do that, I've got to say, I was sharing this in Virginia Beach. I'll just share this. I asked a question about, being a medium and falling in love, and what kind of person do you need to find to do that. It certainly needs to be somebody that believes in that sort of reality, or at least is open to it. But what I was saying in my discussion, or in my reason for even asking, was that, like, as I grow more in this, and the more I do this as work, and the more I work, I don't know, harder at this, the less room I have for sacrificing or settling. Like, I don't want just anybody. I'd rather be single. I have my dogs. That's what the instructor, John Holland, said. He said, anyways, you have your dogs. And it's true. I do. My pack keeps me quite, my dogs and my cats keep me quite happy and content. Beyond that, it's got to be a pretty stellar motherfucker that walks up in here, is how I feel. Because I have to start to believe that I'm a pretty stellar motherfucker. Excuse my language. But, so I need to hold myself with that respect and that regard at all times. And am I always able to do that? No, not always. But I'm getting better at it. And I'm realizing the value of what I have to offer. Not only, not only to myself, but to another partner and to the world. And so as I sit in that, or as I hold that vision and expand upon that, I find myself less apt to want to just let anybody in. I don't want somebody who doesn't appreciate me, or doesn't see me for who I really am, or can appreciate me for who I really am. And to be honest, do I really appreciate myself fully for who I am? I can say on some days, yeah, and on other days, maybe no. I'm harder on myself, whatever. So that's my deal. I don't know about you, Princess Laura, but if you are a princess girl, treat yourself as one. That's how I feel. Hey, Jordan Renee. Woo woo. LOL the same. Yes, Jordan. Jordan's with me on this one. It's okay. Princess Laura says, I'm 34 and I still haven't gotten real love. Sad duck, sad duck, sad duck. Princess Laura, I'm 46. I've been in maybe 2 relationships in my life. 3, really. I've been married once, and that lasted just over a year. And I was young and dumb, and was a mess when that happened. And then I've had 2 other relationships, and both lasted maybe just around a year, if that. I don't consider them real relationships. We were still in the dating phase. We weren't even living together or any of that. Don't trip, girl. The relationship, I really believe, this is my personal belief, and you can do with it whatever you will, but my personal belief is it's all about our relationship to ourselves, and our own spirit, and our own mind, and our own body. And as we generate and grow that relationship and stop looking for the outside validation, and we start working on that validation from within, then only then does the outside world begin to see us as we truly are and start to validate us, and then those doors open up and that relationship comes. That's my belief. That's what I'm thinking. That's where my hunches go, or my intuition takes me. So I know at this point at 46, I'm okay. I've been single most of my life, and it's not been a bad life if I really look back on it. Have I had periods of time where I was lonely and desperate and trying to make things fit that didn't need to be fitting? Fuck yeah. But, excuse me, I like to swear every once in a while. But, now, like I've said, now it's there's certain non-negotiables that I'm actually kind of I'm like, wow, okay, maybe this is with age, or I don't know, or just more of a belief in myself. But if and when he comes, and oh baby, he will come, wink wink, nudge nudge, I'm just kidding. If and when he comes, and the if is the big part, I'm not setting up my life around that. I can't. I don't think you guys have ever seen my screensaver. Let me show you my screensaver. I don't want that. It says, I've had this on my phone for a long time. It says, stop looking for a partner. Focus on your own life and something. I can't remember, but this is in the way. Can I get rid of that? Focus on your goals and achieving and rebuilding your life. The right person will eventually find their way to you. So that is on my screensaver underneath this, right? Music's playing right now, so you can't really see it, and it's kind of blown up, but it's a great phrase, and it sort of rang true for me about, I don't know, 10 years ago, and this thing has been transferred over from phone to phone every time I buy a new phone as my screensaver. And I think that as I look at that every so often and I'm reminded of that, it sort of takes the pressure off and it allows me to focus on my goals and what I want. And if and when I'm ready, they'll show up. No thing. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing. Karen says she loves it when I swear. I love it when I swear too, Karen. Because I'm a bad boy. Hi, Laura Macias Dent. How are you? I hope it works out for you too. Jen Nichols over on YouTube says, I found it at 40 and on my third husband. Happened when I decided to stop taking shit and thinking it was love. Exactly. And so my feeling is I don't think, if it's not good, like if it doesn't honor me, if I'm still learning to honor myself, how can I expect somebody else to honor me correctly, right? So I'm all about finding that honor within myself, and from there, I want to love myself as much as my dogs love me. And when I can get to that point, then I'll be ready. I don't know. It's not even about being ready. But by that point, who knows what will happen. All right, so back to me, or back to us, I should say. Let's get into the breath work for the morning. Let's get our feet firmly planted on the ground. For those of you that are new, we take 3 breaths in the morning to get ourselves centered, start our day off right. Kind of as we breathe in through the nose, we want to be breathing in new, fresh, positive energy, or that's the thought that we want to have in our mind as we're doing this. If we're going to have a thought, that would be the idea or the intention. Breathe that deep down into the belly and hold it for a moment. Allow the oxygen to sort of permeate your bloodstream and your brain. As you release that breath out of the mouth, release or imagine, intend to be releasing anything that's stale, outdated, no longer belongs to you, didn't need to be in your space in the first place, all that crap, just let it go. Stuff about next week and the future, stuff about bullshit from the past, just let it go, okay? After the first breath, we want to honor the body as the densest form and vibration of our representation of self, right? So we want to be grateful and in gratitude towards that. Even if we don't fully feel it, just say thank you to your body in the present moment for all it's done for you. And then on the second breath, we want to say thank you to the mind. And on the third, thank you to the soul. And as we do that, we align those 3 bodies together and remind ourselves that we are completely sort of one working, these are the 3 major components to one working, living being that is experiencing this life today in the present moment. Also, while all of this is going on, you can be lining up your chakras, just intending for that. It doesn't have to get complicated. And you can be emanating a light. I emanate my light from my heart chakra and just let it spread out throughout my body and then out into my aura. So you guys can join me in that if you feel comfortable doing so. Please close your eyes and let's take in that first breath. Plant your feet firmly on the ground, in through your nose, and let's inhale and hold. Emanate that light. Begin to adjust your chakras and release. Giving gratitude to the body for the miracle that it is. Even if we have judgments, positive or negative, about our body, just setting those aside and saying thank you to the body in this moment for everything that it does for us. Let's take in that second breath, deep into the belly, and hold. Line up those chakras and emanate that light just a little bit more, allowing it to spread throughout our body, up to our mind, and release. Thanking our mind for the beautiful tool that it is, even when it causes us to worry or be in fear, reminding ourselves that this is just, the ego trying to keep us safe. It's really sort of, I don't know that it comes from a place of good intentions, but sort of fear from the ego does come from a place of protection and keeping one safe. But needing to sort of be aware of that, be in gratitude of that, but also be willing to let that go, to live a little bit more on the edge, to hold that vision and to allow the mind to open up. And see the mind and body right now just kind of coming in line with one another, sort of saying hello to one another and connecting in present time in this moment right now. Let's take in that third breath and hold any last minute adjustments to the chakras and emanate that light just a little bit further out into the edges of the aura. And release, letting go of it all, bringing it into present moment, saying thank you to the soul, and allowing the soul to come in alignment with that body and mind connection that we've just created. Now I view them as like a triangle, and I can switch the triangle like a dial, moving the one that I want to focus on to the top of the pyramid, right? So I always do the spirit at the top, supported by the mind and the body when I'm doing the forecast. But sometimes when I'm out, say, doing something physical, I might switch that triangle to putting the body up top and the mind and the spirit below. Or when I'm doing something mental, I can move that triangle again and place the mind or the mental at the top. Does that make sense, guys? Do you see that as you're looking at this in meditation? This is just a small, quick meditation. But right now I'm setting my triangle. They're all equal distance from one another, all in support and connection to one another, and in harmony, right? Just vibrating in a place of ease and harmony, and allowing for that to be without any effort. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Hi, welcome to Monday the 18th. Is today a holiday? What is... Oh, that's a Mexican calendar, maybe a Mexican holiday. Never mind. So I got a new calendar for next year. I'll just show it to you guys. It's sitting here by my desk. I can't wait to open it. Such a dork. Look at that face! Oh my god! I love him. He's so beautiful. Look at that booty. It's as cute as the face. Anyways, I can't wait to use that calendar for 2020. So that'll be my calendar for 2020. It's a little bit more exciting than the flat top desk calendar that I'm using. So, hi Nicole Bowles Chambliss, how are you? Good morning. Alright, so hey Alethea, how are you? Alright, so I'm going to start shuffling the cards, asking Spirit for the card for today. If you haven't watched yesterday's forecast for the week, please go back and watch it. I will link it to the end of this video for those of you that are tuning in after the fact, but I am asking Spirit right now mentally for the card that best supports us today, for those that are watching live and those that may tune in at any point in time in the future. What is it that we need to know? What is it that we need to focus on? Where would our intentions and our attention best be placed today for the forecast? What would give us the most growth, give us the most abundance, give us the most opportunity for transformation? What would support that vision that we want this week? That is the underpinning energy of this week, right? We have that vision stone, and I keep getting drawn back to it. It's just such a big word, and that void card from yesterday, meaning we get to pull whatever we want out of the void, right? We get to manifest whatever it is we think we want. But we have to do the work. We have to, focus the attention and the intention and get clear on what it is we want, and how we want it. How much do we believe we deserve it? Ooh, this is a new card for us. By the way, we're working with the Naked Heart Tarot by Jillian C. Wild. You can follow her on Instagram at Jillian, Jillian CWILDE. And she is the creator of this tarot deck that we're working with for the month of November. It's an absolutely beautiful deck. I'm going to switch the cameras right now so you can see the card. This is a new card to us, and I love this card. I am feeling this card right now. Let me get the chat box up just so I can see your guys' comments. So this is the Five of Cups, guys. And even though they're sort of spilled over, and this heart to me is blue, there's a peacefulness to this heart. We might be experiencing a little bit of sadness today, right? The Five of Cups, I believe, traditionally is sort of about not the most positive of emotions, but I feel like this might be an opportunity for us to kind of work on some of the things that we might have going on for ourselves emotionally in the early part of this week that would allow us to maybe upright these cups and feel a little bit more in control of our heart, a little bit more open, maybe bringing some warmth back into our heart. I don't feel like this blue heart is a bad thing. It just feels like maybe some of us, and I say this myself included, may have some sadness in our hearts or some um, opportunities where we can actually open up our emotional center and kind of look at it and do some healing work with it today, right? And have some like heart-centered focus today to allow ourselves to look at areas in our lives where maybe we felt like we have lost something or something was taken from us. Maybe there might be areas where we sort of didn't feel as though we had control, and because of that, it hurt us or harmed us on an emotional level, at a deeper level at the heart. But we are survivors here. The heart, to me, is still complete. And this blue, even though it has sort of a sadness to it or a somberness to it, there is also a peace to this blue. There's also a certainty to this blue. So I feel like we can delve into our more heart-centered emotions today and kind of check them, work with them, and honor them and know that they're valid, right? I love that this bird is sitting here. To me, this, like, it looks like it's a crow. I love crows. I have this thing, an affinity about crows. Crows are all about the spirit medicine of law, and they are extremely smart and intelligent birds. To me, this signifies that, what are the how do I want to say this? Like, what are the rules? What are the laws that maybe were broken around our heart? Where did we sort of allow people to overstep our boundaries and maybe hurt us? How do we go about sort of looking at those things and maybe taking responsibility for those things and allowing forgiveness within our heart? That will help to upright some of these cups, guys. The only thing here is, I know sometimes when we get hurt, it's hard for us to sort of forgive or to forget. And nobody says we have to forget, but forgiveness is really as much for us as it is for others that maybe have harmed us. And I think that this bird to me says that he understands, he's smart, or we are smart, we are intelligent, and we are able to sort of find the areas where maybe we have allowed others to tread upon us in ways that weren't beneficial to us, and heal those areas, heal those memories, find forgiveness, and release ourselves. And create also, this bird to me is also about the creation of new laws. What is okay for you today, emotionally? What is not okay? What is a non-negotiable? Similar to what I was talking about. It's funny, Princess Laura put me on that little tangent about love and where we're at and how we feel, how I feel, and what's negotiable and what's not negotiable. This, to me, this Five of Cups, this bird is telling me that he's kind of not negotiable on what new things he'll accept in his life. So maybe we need to be that way. We need to sort of look at our hearts, acknowledge the sadness, acknowledge the sort of the pain that might be in there, but know that it hasn't broken us. Our heart still exists. I've really been living from this place of recent in meditation and in my thoughts of that the heart really is unbreakable, right? And we have to remember that our spirit is unbreakable and our heart is unbreakable. Yes, we do feel pain, but sometimes we need to feel that pain so that we can almost deepen that. There's a phrase in this book called The Prophet by Khalil Gibran that I absolutely love, and I'm going to misquote it. I know I'm going to completely misquote it, but there's a part of the writings where they talk about love and pain and how the heart needs to experience pain to deepen itself so that it can that that space where that pain was created within the heart can be then filled with joy at the same level, right? So to me, when I think about that, it makes me think about sometimes the pain that we've gone through didn't actually necessarily break our heart. It actually expanded our heart and made it bigger so that we had more room for joy in our lives, right? And we also get to determine with this bird here, whether it's a raven or it's a crow. To me, the raven is all about magic and crow is all about law, so it can be a hybrid of both if you want it to be. We get to choose how we heal our sadness, what where we be aware of also where we allowed ourselves to maybe experience that pain, and also to transform that pain into knowledge, become smarter from that pain or that sadness, and release it, allow for forgiveness, and start to create new rules or new protections, new awareness around what we are willing to accept. Okay? Now I'm going to go to the next deck, which is the Roots and Wings Oracle. And this deck is by Kat Riles, Ryalls. You can find her on Instagram at River and Roots, and her deck is available on Etsy. It was a deck that I bought there. Both of these decks that I'm using, I have unboxing videos on my channel. So if you go to look at those unboxing videos, in the description of the video is links to where to buy these decks if these are decks that you're interested in or that you like the artwork or that you feel like you might want to work with. These artists are certainly worth supporting. These are beautiful decks, and I love how these two blend together. They were just sort of chosen by the group. So, and the messages have been really lovely. So let's see what this other deck wants us to know. What else does Spirit want us to know to help further clarify this message today around our hearts? I love that, the Void card. I can't get over that and the Vision. Okay. Where are we at today? Wow. Okay. So we have the World here. And I love the card just from the standpoint. It makes me think of like sort of Tarot. In Tarot, there's the World card too, but the Universe, sort of in my deck, it's called the Universe. But to me, this feels like us being able to be full spectrum beings. When I look at this rainbow here and sort of it hanging over this planet, to me it feels like we get to become a little bit closer to being, like I'm getting this idea, it's going to sound kind of fruity, but I'm going to go with it. This to me is reminiscent of the layers of the aura for us. And as we do this heart-centered work, right, and we start to create these sort of new awarenesses and new rules with this crow being present here, these new laws, these new boundaries that we put into place for our own protections and our own awareness, because these situations that maybe hurt us in the past have educated us to a degree. We've expanded our energetic field. We've expanded our sort of awareness of who we are and what we offer the world, and that in turn expands our sort of position in the world. And when I look at this card, this feels like to me we can have it all. This is about that vision stone that we saw from yesterday. This is about being sort of in the world, a part of the world, maybe even in our sort of sadness or our hurt. We still have something of value and beauty to bring to the world, like this rainbow. Each one of us is like a, I don't want to sound too corny, but like a magical individual version of ourselves. And that authentic self brings something to the world that is beautiful. Whether we believe that or not is the question. Do we live from that place or do we not? Right? To me, the world is also like the end of the major arcana. And so I believe it's the last card in the major arcana, the beginning of the Fool's Journey. It's like sort of the having of everything. And so to me, I feel like if we do this work today, we can like open the doors for us to have whatever it is we want, right? We can open ourselves up to seeing the beauty of all of the different array of sort of aspects of ourselves, the different colors in our aura, the different aspects of our energy, the different aspects of our personality that really make us who we are in the world, and how we add that value and that beauty, even in our sort of maybe hurt or pained selves, right? We have like, what's that movie? Oh, what's the movie with it's a kids movie by Pixar that I loved that made me cry, and it was all about how sadness is actually a very important emotion. They had the different emotions. One was like anger, sadness, joy. Do you guys remember that movie? This reading is making me think of her, and how at the end of the movie they sort of discover that they need her because she is a vital part of their whole understanding of who they are. What was the name of that movie? I keep thinking Up, and it's not Up. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Not Up, Ducky. It's not Up. um, hey Mary, how are you, honey? Anyways, there's a movie. I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll post it in the groups. You guys, is it Inside Out? What's it called? Ah, this is gonna drive me nuts. Is it Inside Out? Is that it, Jen Nichols? I think that's the name of it. I can't remember, but the deplorables. It's not the deplorable. Dougie, you're a deplorable for saying that. It's not the deplorables. You're thinking of the Incredibles, you ding dong. I think it is Inside Out. Anyways, if you guys get a chance, go watch that today. And that will help to maybe be the theme for this blue-hearted, world-inheriting, wonderful day that we can have. I think it is Inside Out. So let's look at what the grounding stone is for today. Okay. So, the grounding stone for today is family. So, I'm going to say this, guys. The couple things that come up to my mind. The family's never come up for us yet. This is a new grounding stone for us. But what I'm going to say is this. Sometimes some of these blue hearts or these pains, this sadness can come from places like the family, right? Some of the deepest of the hurts can come from our families. And sometimes we need to heal those and forgive those so that we can find ourselves reconnected to that family. And our family can be not only the family that we're born to, but also to the family of our choosing, right? Which could be friends, good Judys, our girlfriends, our boyfriends, the people that we choose to have around us, right? They also can help us to heal these moments and to see our shine, or see the beautiful spectrum of who we are in the world. Sometimes they give us a better perspective of who we are than we can actually see for ourselves, because we might be too caught up in that pain, right? Or we might be too caught up in those memories or the sadness of that. We don't actually see the potential and the beauty that we bring to the world. Well, sometimes the family, our own family, not only can be sometimes the cause of this pain and sadness, but it can also be the sort of outside eyes that we need to see the beauty that we are and to support us in the world, right? And like I said, family can be not only those that we are born to, but family can be those that we choose, right? Like I consider like a lot of you guys, my sort of family around this daily forecast. And you guys help me to serve a purpose and see my own rainbow, so to speak, and my own purpose in the world by tuning in every morning. And by doing that, you guys offer me opportunities to heal my sadnesses from the past, right? And to let them go. I'm just using that as an example. But you guys can apply this to your life in the way that you see fit. And also, I want to say about this family stone too is, when I think about family, the idea of family is to be intertwined and interconnected with a group of loving and supporting individuals. And unfortunately, a lot of times that's not our experience, right? I don't necessarily know that that was always my experience, right? I've had times where things have been great with my family, and I've had times where things have been totally not great with my family. But I think about family within myself, if that makes sense. Like, am I being good to myself? Am I being supportive to myself? Am I like loving myself as I would want and expect, say, a family member to? And oftentimes the answer is no. right? Oftentimes I'm critical of myself. I'm, doubtful of my abilities. I mean, this gets better and better. I mean, I get less and less with these behaviors, but, through my 20s and 30s, I was very doubtful of myself. I was very much on edge, had a wall up, all of that stuff. So I wasn't very much in family or in connection to my own self, let alone my own family. So it makes sense why, I wouldn't necessarily have that connection. Does that make sense? So I feel like this stone is telling us, and these cards are telling us today, to take the opportunity today to delve a little deeper into our hearts, to forgive, to find the family of our actual, birth family or the family of our choosing, and to like rely on them for support, or to heal those relationships and offer forgiveness there, so that we can, shine in the world, in our own personal environment, in our own personal world, and free up our energy to be like this rainbow, right? And to shine all the different colors in the spectrum of who we are, to expand that spectrum and allow ourselves that opportunity today. So I hope you guys like that. I hope that makes sense. Hey, Zena, how are you? And good morning, Tammy. Tammy Chirasso, not Tammy Hartley. I don't see Tammy Hartley. And good morning, Lori. So, Lori says, yep, my family mostly sucks, lol. Kind of that is the case, but we build our own family, right? We get that opportunity, but we also have to build family within ourselves to ourselves, is kind of what I'm feeling like I'm getting from this stone a little bit too, is are we in family with ourselves? Are we giving ourselves sort of the opportunity and the support that we need, that we would expect from, say, like, are we mothering ourselves? Are we nurturing ourselves? Are we loving ourselves no matter what? Right? And if the answer is maybe questionable or a no, well, then maybe we need to work on that today. And maybe if we work on that within ourselves, our relationships to our family would change. And we can always turn towards those relationships of our chosen family. Like my chosen family, I feel like is my dogs. I have a few friends that I'm very close to. My mom, I'm very close to, but she is actual like blood family. But I don't have any siblings. Well, I do. I have Paul, and he is my family. And so I get to explore that relationship with him. Oh wow, this makes this reading change for me completely when I think of Paul. Ah, I get to have an opportunity today to sort of rebuild that relationship, not only with him, but in doing so, I rebuild that relationship to myself. Does that make sense? So maybe if I find that forgiveness for, how do I want to put this? If I can find that forgiveness within myself for maybe, having been away from Paul for so long, and connect with Paul, and I'm just using Paul as an example, right? I'm really excited to be going to see him over Thanksgiving. I'm using his as an example. I get to connect to pieces of my heart that I didn't even know were missing. And from that, yes, there is sadness around that. Yes, I am upset about how we found out about Paul's existence. Yes, I'm upset that my aunt hid it from us for 15 years, right? I mean, that's unfair and it hurts. But it's given me ultimately an opportunity to sort of grow and change my world, my spectrum, right? My outlook, my vision of the world, and I get to move forward in the idea of family and create expand my family circle just a little bit more, right? So that's, how I interpret this today for myself. You guys can choose to interpret your forecast in the way that you best see fit, but today would be a good day to allow yourself to have your emotions, have your sadnesses, try and find forgiveness, shine brightly in your world, and focus on those that you love, and create that love within yourself. Okay? Hold tight to that vision this week. I think that this week is going to be really good. I have a feeling that the readings leading up to 2020 are going to be kind of this is the last. Let me switch cameras. I feel like This is the last ditch effort of getting the house clean before we go into the new decade of 2020. So there's an opportunity here for all of us to do this if we focus on it and we hold tight to our visions and maybe get into here and look at it, heal it. And that's why, it's funny. That's why I'm doing these unboxings around these decks that are around self-care and healing, because I feel like there needs to be a pick a card around that. I mentioned it a couple weeks ago, and then I've gotten busy and went to visit Paul and whatever. And I'm trying to get these decks unboxed so that I can get this pick a card together, because I know that we need it. I need it, and you guys need it, and anybody in the, we can all use a little bit of healing no matter what. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing facilitating not only our own healing, but the healing of others is an extremely powerful human experience that we came here to learn how to do, how to give, how to share, and how to give to ourselves. And so I'm going to hustle my butt and try and get that done amidst everything else that I'm trying to do. But you guys have a great day. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed the forecast. And hey, Kelly Camp, it's okay for the late jump in. You can always rewatch and replay. I am about to sign off. You guys hold tight to your vision this week. I really think that void card and that vision card are going to say to us that we can have a whole lot this week if we want to. This world card is also reminding me of that too. Okay? So I will talk to you very soon. 2020 is the year I lose 170 pounds. Goodbye, David. Who's David? Are you calling me David? 2020 is the year that Mary Lyman loses 170 pounds and learns my name. It's Daniel. Good morning, Amanda. We're getting ready to sign off, you guys, but hey, Laura Gibson, how are you? Oh, Laura! Hey, Laura! Laura was in, I didn't realize Laura Gibson was Laura. Laura was in Virginia Beach with me at the mediumship workshop. So how awesome to see you here this morning, Laura. Thank you for visiting us. There's a great group of women here that come in every morning for the forecast. So welcome to the forecast. Laura is lovely. She lives in Florida. Oh, sorry. I probably shouldn't out you, Laura, as to where you live. That's your own personal information. But, oh, David is her pain. Okay, I thought you were calling me David. I was like, Mary. My name is Daniel, not David. Anyways, you guys, have a great day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to try and get a couple more unboxings up, and then maybe a pick a card, and I got to start the Taroscopes for the month of December. All the while, I got to do all of this in the next 7 days, so I got to be a busy little beaver. So I got a lot ahead of me to get done, and tape that week while I'm gone in Florida to visit Paul. All right, you guys. Have a great day, and I will talk to you all tomorrow. All right, enjoy your day. Bye-bye.